It all comes down to this. It is championship weekend for high school football. Eastern Idaho is well represented with as many as 4 state titles up for grabs. There is much on the line as rivals Idaho State and Weber State clash. The winner improves their chances of getting into the FCS playoffs. A couple of teams off to hot starts battle in girls basketball as one of the best boys players in the state secures his college future. No need for a secret handshake. You are all invited. Time to charge into this thing we call Sportsline, and it starts right now.
And now, Sportsline.
Welcome one, welcome all. This is Sportsline. I'm Dylan Carter. Thank you so much for tuning in. We have 4 teams from Eastern Idaho who have the opportunity to win state championships in football this weekend. The first of the 4, North Fremont, got their chance tonight at Holt Arena. Andrea Urban is there live. Andrea, how did it go?
It was a hard-fought battle, Dylan. The 2A reigning champs of Declo faced North Fremont in the 2A state title game for all the chips. Now, North Fremont has not won a state title in 29 years. The last time was 1989. The Husky student section going nuts, but the Hornets looking to repeat for the second time in school history tonight. Start of the second quarter, it's Keegan Duncan, the future Boise State Bronco, breaking through and taking it all the way to the house. Declo leads at 13-0 with under 11 minutes until the half. The Hornets have some passing game as well. McKay Brashears connects with Duncan along the sideline for the score. Declo continues to build the lead. North Fremont looking to put some points on the board here. Garrett Hawks fakes the handoff and then gives it to a moving Chris Hansen, who sets up the Huskies in scoring position. And then it's Hawks on the quarterback keeper. He's over the line. 2-point conversion is good. It's 21-8 Hornets. Later in the second, Hornets still ahead, but the Huskies aren't going down without a fight. Hawks lets it fly, and Blake Oberhansley has got it. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, North Fremont. But Declo is the big bad wolf of 2A football. Brashears throws to Caleb Moore, and he falls into the end zone for another Hornet touchdown. Declo will beat North Fremont 41-24 and repeat as 2A state champions. This is the 4th state title for the Declo Hornets in school history. The Highland Rams will kick off tomorrow at 10 a.m. in Albertson Stadium in Boise. They're facing the 11-0 Rocky Mountain Grizzlies, but the overall series, the Rams lead it 3-1. This will be the Rams' 10th appearance to a state title game under head coach Gino Mariani. Being the 2017 5A reigning champs, they have a chance to repeat, which is something that the Highland Rams have not done since 1997 and 98.
It means a lot. Going back-to-back is a big deal. It's hard to defend a state championship. It's pretty special. It's because it's Rocky. You know, it's East versus West. It's a great rivalry. We got to lock in early. It's business trip, so we got to take this serious. No playing around. It's come here for a reason, to win a state championship.
Head coach Gino Mariani said he knew his team had it in them from the beginning, especially with the leadership from last year's team.
We had so many skilled kids back offensively. You have your quarterback back. Anytime you have a quarterback back, you're always going to have a chance. And you know, we've stuck a line together that's sometimes been makeshift, but kids have really stepped up and played well. You know, you lose a kid like Tommy Torrey, you're not going to replace him. But those kids that are there right now are scrappers. Like I said, you look at them on the street and you're like, they're not very intimidating. But when you get them in pads and let them play on the field, they're going to get out and get after people. It's a mindset, one, you're going to play for a month. And they believe in it, and we got here again, and we did last year. They understood what that group went through as far as a mindset and execution, and we call it laser focus, and they did that. Now we're on the road, that's fine. We've been on the road before, and we know how to travel, and we're going to show up Saturday and play.
We'll have those Rocky Mountain and Highland highlights tomorrow. Dylan, you'll be there, but for now, I will toss it back to you in the studio.
I will be there, and I look forward to it. Thank you so much, Andrea. We appreciate that. Also be there where the 4A state championship game will be held, where it's going to be a battle of nights Saturday, 1 p.m. at Albertson Stadium. Hillcrest is back in the state title game for the first time in 10 years. They will face a Bishop Kelly squad that has almost made a second home there. The other Knights are making their 6th stop at the championship game in the last 9 seasons. Hillcrest comes into the game with just 1 loss, and that was by 1 point to Madison. This is the first year under head coach Kevin Meyer. He says there was an adjustment period.
You know, there was some interesting conversations. I think some kids were a little worried about what their fit was going to be. But starting from the summer, I had a good vibe from the get-go. Our coaches worked hard with them during the season. We've really progressed.
What kind of challenge does Bishop Kelly present to you guys?
Well, their team speed is really good. I mean, they fly around the ball. Their defense is one of the highest ranked in the state. They want to run the ball. I mean, that's going to kind of come to head a little bit on who can stop the run, and they always have about 1 trick play a game, but they're very, very sound.
One of the key players that will be instrumental for Hillcrest when they go up against Bishop Kelly is senior quarterback Kyle Austin. He says he's looking forward to the task at hand and that he's doing so with confidence.
It'll be a challenge and it'll be a physical game, and we're looking forward to it. We just got to stop the run and be ready for their pass, and who knows what they're going to try to do to stop our offense, but we just feel that we just got to focus on us and that no one can stop our offense as long as we're executing. It's just about us. The opportunity to go down to Boise State, play on the blue turf, and just to do it, I couldn't ask to do it with a better group of guys. I love every single one of them, and I'm just so excited.
The Sugar Salem Diggers are up for the 3A championship. They are looking for their first state title in school history. They will have to get past an 11-0 Homedale team to do it, but the Diggers themselves are on a bit of a roll. Sugar Salem has won 9 straight heading into Saturday. Head coach Tyler Richens says that run was triggered by an early season gut check.
We ended up losing to Declo in the opener, and from there it was a matter of where do we go. And it was kind of a place for us to reevaluate things and see what we needed to do to get better. And these kids really stepped up and said, this isn't going to define us. We're going to try to get better each and every week from here on out. And so that first opener for us against Declo was, hey, let's get better, let's improve, let's take it one step at a time. And from there, you know, we really haven't looked back. And
the Diggers can now look forward to facing Homedale tomorrow, 1 p.m. at Middleton High School. Richens says the key to their success will be making the Trojans' offense as uncomfortable as possible.
They're big, they're strong, athletic. They run a hurry-up, no-huddle style offense. And so it's just a matter of getting them out of their element, own that time of possession. And that's what we're looking to do is limit the amount of plays they run and just get them off the field, and so our offense can take care of business. So.
All right, coming up, a lot of ink was used this week as several high school athletes signed letters of intent. That coming up, plus some high school girls basketball action from tonight. When we come back, this is Sportsline. With football wrapping up this weekend, it will be full-blown winter sports mode moving forward. The first to get started was, of course, girls basketball, so let's check in on some of tonight's action. The Idaho Falls Tigers welcoming the Madison Bobcats to the Tigers' den. Second quarter, Bobcats work the ball around to Sydney Parker, who goes up strong for the layup. Madison up by 17 points. Later, Bobcats put it in the hands of Mikkel Parkinson, who snaps the net with the three-pointer there. Madison extends the lead to 20. Tigers get some offense going. Cassidy Sanders is all alone on the baseline. She gets the shot to go down. The hot hand in this quarter, though, was Parkinson. She rips another tray, this time from the right side, but the Tigers will push the ball and catch the Bobcat defense napping. Madeline Burton with the layup there for Idaho Falls. But in the end, it was too much Parkinson for Madison. She finished with 18 points as the Bobcats go on to beat the Tigers 48-26. Skyline Grizzlies hosting the Thunder Ridge Titans for the first time. First quarter, Skyline to inbound. Maddie Olson finds Callie Miller, who hits the wide open jumper on the baseline to tie the game up at 6s. Titans come right back, though. Sierra John with a nice assist. She feeds Cameron Otley close range shot. Thunder Ridge back up by 2. Off the inbound, John picks up another assist when she finds Lauren Davenport at the top of the key for a 3. Titans push their lead to 5. Moments later, more from Davenport. This time she creates her own shot with the pull-up jumper there. Thunder Ridge takes their biggest lead of the quarter. Titans up 13-6. It's a pretty good passing in this game. Check out this dart from Miller that goes through some traffic. She finds Lizzie Bialis, who finished at the basket. This game, I just barely got the score. Thunder Ridge would go on to win 61-57 over Skyline. It was a busy week for high school athletes from Eastern Idaho looking to play their sports at the next level. Hillcrest baseball player Jace Hansen officially signed his letter of intent to play for Yakima Community College this week. The 6'5" senior is a right-handed pitcher who also plays first base. Last season as a junior, he struck out 21 in 31 1/3 innings with an ERA of .357. He also hit for a .318 batting average. A quartet of Bonneville baseball players also signed this week. Caden Christensen and Brewer Webster are both headed to the College of Southern Idaho. Alex Cortez will play for the Treasure Valley Community College, and Randon Hostern will become a Utah Ute. That very same afternoon, another Bonneville Bee signed her letter of intent. Volleyball standout Paige Dixon will be playing her college ball for the Argos of the University of Providence in Great Falls, Montana. And Century's Zoe Theros signed her letter of intent on Tuesday afternoon as well. She will be continuing her playing career with the Gonzaga Bulldogs. She helped lead the Diamondbacks to a 4A state title, making it their 7th since 2010. All right, let's give you tonight's Papa Murphy Sportsline Stumper. You know, Idaho State has played Weber State in football every year since 1962. Only once have they actually played each other twice in the same season. What year did that happen? Was it 1980, 1981, 1983, or 2002? If you know the answer, go to our website, localnews8.com, click on the Sports tab, look for the Sportsline Stumper, and enter for your chance to win one of 3 great prizes, courtesy of Papa Murphy's. Remember, you can only win once a month, and good luck. When Sportsline returns, we will preview this year's Idaho State and Weber State matchup. This is Sportsline. This week, Idaho State football has been preparing for one of its biggest challenges all season. The Bengals will host Weber State at home on Senior Day with playoff implications on the line. The Wildcats have been one of the strong suits of the Big Sky, and this year it's their defense that has kept them near the top of the league standings. They're first in 4 of the 5 possible defensive statistics and second in the other. The Wildcats just over 3,200 yards of total defense. And ISU head coach Rob Fennessy says that if you want to know how defense is supposed to be played, just watch how Weber does it.
It's tough. You gotta pick and choose where you want to attack. You can't just go full-fledged into thinking that you're just going to be able to do everything. You got to do a very good job of game planning, and you got to consider personnel quite a bit. They got a very stout front. They're very veteran in the back end. They play sound. They play well. They play hard. They are downhill players. They hit. They play defense the way defense is supposed to be played.
Coach Fennessy continues to remind his team that they are playing for a spot beyond the regular season, and he knows they have to beat Weber, then leave it up to the committee to decide their fate.
I've told the guys the last 3 weeks, 2 weeks ago when we're going to Portland, there was, 66% of the teams were out of anything. So, you're still playing for something. And after Portland, I said, hey, that's probably down to about, there's 75% are out. We're guaranteed 3rd place, regardless of the outcome, but with a win, we have 2nd place. And that would go from being predicted 12th in the conference to 2nd is quite a feat by these young men. Playing for 7 wins, undefeated at home, and then we're going to force the committee to make a decision, and that's what we want to do.
One of the best high school players in the state of Idaho last year will be playing college ball in Pocatello next year. Former Preston star Braden Parker signed a letter of intent earlier this week to join the Idaho State Bengals for the 2019-2020 season. The USA Today All-Idaho Player of the Year is honing his skills by playing his freshman year at the College of Southern Idaho.
Coach Fay has put me in the right spot. He's taught me a whole bunch of things. My high school coach was good, but Coach Fay just emphasizes what I need to do better, and that's what I need.
He gets better every day because he's such a hard worker. I thought he was a really good player. I was excited when we signed him, but he's been even better than what we thought. He's really opened eyes in the college basketball world to the point where I think Idaho State's really getting a steal.
In regional college scores from tonight, Utah State got the best of Utah Valley 65-46. Next up for the Aggies is a bout with St. Mary's of the West Coast Conference. Boise State easily handled Jackson State 70-53. Broncos will battle Creighton of the Big East on Monday. Boise State in action on the football field tonight as well. Down in Albuquerque, the Broncos took care of business against the Lobos 45-14. The big showdown with Utah State next Saturday at Albertsons Stadium. The last time we saw the Utah Jazz in action, they lost by 50 to Dallas. How would they respond tonight against the Sixers? We'll find out next on Sportsline. Have you ever seen something and then thought to yourself, how in the world is that even possible? That's how I felt Wednesday when the Jazz somehow lost by 50 to the Dallas Mavericks. They were in Philly tonight looking to recover. Jimmy Butler making his home debut for the 76ers. First quarter, Butler got off to a nice start. First offensive possession for Philly. Butler drives and gets the up and under to go. Then he knocks down a three right there. Later in transition, Butler with the lay-in. Philly was up by 14 points after the first quarter. Second quarter now, Jazz down 14 off a turnover. Derek Favors is going to throw the alley-oop to Donovan Mitchell right here. Utah down by 12. Later in the second, Sixers up by 6. Butler is going to get the dunk off the inbound pass. Butler had 13 points in the first half to give Philly a 2-point lead. Third quarter, 76ers up 2. Butler gets it up to Ben Simmons, who throws down the big dunk. Philly up by 4. Fourth quarter now, Sixers down 1. Joel Embiid backing down Rudy Gobert, makes a move, and then gets the bucket and the foul. Embiid and Gobert exchange a few words. Philly up 1 later in the fourth. Utah down 1. Mitchell is going to pull up, and he's going to hit the three-point over Embiid. Mitchell had 31 points on the night. Jazz up 2, a minute to play in the fourth. Game tied at 107. Simmons is going to drive to the hoop for the Sixers. He's going to get the shot, draw the foul. Philly up by 2, 20 seconds to play, as the 76ers would go on to win by the final score of 113-107 over Utah. There has been a lot of frustration expressed from this side of the state about how the sites for the football championship games were determined. Now, there was some confusion last Friday that centered around a little-known stipulation that resulted in games thought to be coming to Holt Arena ended up being played in Boise instead. Perhaps the real problem is that maybe there are too few options for hosting the championship games. Instead of regions hosting and having the traditional 3 spots, perhaps there should be districts that host. What if the IHSAA they have certain logistical requirements for hosting a playoff game? Why can't they designate every site within each district that meets those and then present them as options? So whichever team is granted the home status should be able to choose from the pre-approved list. Now, if a District 4 or a District 6 team wants to go to Holt or even to Boise or wherever, more power to them. But if they don't, and if, say, Thunder Stadium, for example, is adequate enough to host a semifinal, shouldn't it be good enough for the big game itself? I would love to hear what you think. You can reach me on Facebook, Twitter, or email. And if you missed one of my commentaries on Friday night, you can also find them on our website, locanews8.com. Top plays when we come back. It's that time of the show. Time for the Southeast Idaho Chevy Dealers Plays of the Week. Top play number 3 takes us to Ryrie, where Indy Williams stills the inbound pass. The Bulldogs working around for the easy layup. Check this out. With one hand, she's going to snag the steal, and defense turns to offense for Ryrie. Top play number 2, we stay on the hardwood, but head to Regim, Idaho State's Ballant Moshan with the hoop and the harm. Look at him finger roll it over the hand of the defender, all while being fouled. 2 of his 10 points last night against Pacific. And finally, number 1 play of the week goes to North Fremont's Garrett Hawks. It looks like the play is over, but he finds his way out of the pack and into the end zone. The spin move out of the mosh has earned Garrett Hawks the number 1 play of the week. That's all the time we have for this edition of Sportsline. For Andrew Urban, the entire crew, I'm Dylan Carter. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week.